welcome back to Miss Bree Reads. I'm Miss Bree, and this week we have a new story. Look. The author writes the story, the illustrator draws the picture. We got the front, we got the back, we got the spine, The title of the story is Curious Questions and Answers About Weather. Written by Philip Steele, illustrations by Mike Moran. Curious Questions and Answers About Weather. Written by Philip Steele, illustrations by Mike Moran. What is weather? Earth is surrounded by a layer of air called the atmosphere. The way the atmosphere behaves is always changing. It is these changes that give us the weather, which may be hot, cold, wet, windy, or sunny. The atmosphere is filled with moving air and clouds. Be careful, the wind doesn't blow your hat off. Why does weather happen? The sun is the nearest star to Earth. It is far, far away in space, but its incredible heat warms our planet. This warmth affects the way that air presses against Earth's surface. Differences between cold and warm places create strong winds as well as currents in the oceans. Why do seasons change? As Earth travels around the sun, it is tilted. This means that northern and southern parts lean toward the sun at different times of the year. So when the north part is leaning towards the sun, it is summer and winter in the southern part. Is weather important? Yes, it is, because people, animals, and plants need sunshine, warmth, and water to stay alive. However, extreme weather conditions, such as storms or floods, can put lives in danger. Rain and sunshine help us make food. Then insects help new plants to spread. What makes water wonderful? Water is a liquid. It can freeze to become solid ice. It can turn into gas called water vapor. Water may change its form, but it lasts forever. Number 1, there's lots of it. Over 2/3 of the Earth's surface is covered in water. 2, it gets gassy. Heat from the sun turns water into a gas called water vapor. This is evaporation. 3, it rises and cools. As warm water vapor rises, it cools down. It condenses, turning back into liquid. The higher you go, the colder it gets. Water is precious. Fresh water keeps us alive. Water helps plants grow too. We can wash in it, swim in it, sail on it, drink it, and play in it. 4, it makes clouds. Water droplets or solid ice crystals gather around specks of dust and form clouds. 5, it falls back down. Water droplets or ice crystals form raindrops or snowflakes, which fall back to Earth. Don't forget your umbrella. And 6, it goes on and on. Rain and melted snow fill rivers, lakes, and oceans. Then the whole water cycle starts all over again. It helps create our weather. How hot does it get? In California's Death Valley, the top temperature ever recorded was over 132 degrees Fahrenheit. A weather satellite has recorded over 158 in the Lut Desert in Iran. Why do lizards sunbathe? Reptiles such as lizards are cold-blooded, which means that they can't make their own heat. They bask in the sunshine to warm themselves up. How can plants survive in a desert? Some plants have their own water supply. Cacti store water in their thick, spiky stems. Baobab trees store water inside their big, fat trunks. Why can the sun be a danger? The sun can burn your skin and make you sick. On a sunny day, cover up your skin, wear a hat, slap on some sunscreen, and drink plenty of water. Don't forget, I need a drink too. Where does the weather happen? In the layer of the atmosphere that is closest to Earth's surface, the atmosphere surrounds our planet like a giant blanket, screening out some harmful rays that come from the sun. Why do clouds have funny shapes? Some clouds are white and puffy. Some are thin and streaky. Some pile up like big dark towers. Some form little blobs. Their shapes depend on whether they are full of water droplets or ice crystals and how high up they are. Some clouds look like dragons, castles, or bears in the sky. What can you see up there? Is there a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow? Only in fairy tales. Rainbows are the most beautiful sights in the sky. Air has no color, but when sunlight passes through rain or mist, the water droplets break up the light into an arc of shimmering colors. Why does the wind blow? Because as warm air rises, cold air whooshes in to take its place, and the wind blows. Some winds blow between land and sea. Some cross deserts and mountains. Others blow all the way around the planet. What is a monsoon? It is wind that blows across India. The winter monsoon brings dry weather. In summer, it picks up lots of water from the ocean and brings heavy rains to the dry land. How do winds shape rock? Winds often carry dust, grit, or sand. They blast rocks and cliffs, wearing them down into all sorts of shapes. Water, ice, and heat also shape the surface of planet Earth. Would you rather go on vacation somewhere cold or somewhere hot? Hear crashing thunder or see flashes of lightning? Play soccer in the rain and mud or during a heat wave? Cruise by boat on a calm day or sail on a windy day? Fly above the clouds or drift below the clouds? Wear a woolly coat like a sheep or a green raincoat like a tree frog? Ride on a surfboard or a snowboard? Work outside in a big storm at sea or inside designing a weather satellite for space? What is a hurricane? It's a terrifying tropical storm, also called a typhoon or a cyclone. A great storm cloud spins around as it sweeps over the ocean. Hurricane-force winds can reach 110 miles an hour or even more. The calm center is called the eye of the storm. Is it deadly? When a hurricane smashes into land, it can be deadly. There are huge waves, heavy rain, floods, and mudslides. Trees can be blown over, homes may be destroyed, and lives may be at risk. Where is Tornado Alley? This is an area in the United States that has some of the fiercest whirlwinds of all. They are called tornadoes or twisters. These dark funnels of dust can spin at up to 300 miles an hour. They can suck up a car or even a house. What is a waterspout? A whirlwind that forms from warm, moist air over a sea or lake is called a waterspout. It is often joined to the bottom of a cloud. Why are thunder clouds dark? Thunder clouds are so full of water droplets that they look very dark. They tower up to 9 miles high. How do clouds make lightning? Water vapor rushes up into the clouds from the warm ground. Once inside, the vapor cools and freezes, forming balls of ice called hailstones. Air currents ping these up and down inside the cloud, making an electric charge. In a thunderstorm, stay away from water or metal fences. Go indoors if you can. Do not stand under a tree. Why does thunder go bang? The heat of lightning is incredible, even hotter than the sun. It makes the air expand so fast that it causes a shock wave. Bang! Which comes first, thunder or lightning? They happen at the same time, but we see the flash first because light travels through the air faster than sound. Did you know the Inuit people of the Arctic can build igloos? Overnight shelters made from blocks of frozen snow. These are actually quite cozy. It is said that no two snowflakes have exactly the same design. As we are reading these words, there are about 2,000 thunderstorms happening around the world. The coats of the Arctic fox and hare change to white in the winter, so they cannot be seen against the snow. Long ago, people believed that the weather was controlled by gods and goddesses. Anti was the Inca sun god. Thor was the Norse god of thunder. How are snowflakes formed? When water droplets freeze around specks of dust in a cloud, snowflakes form. These ice crystals freeze more droplets, building up amazing starry shapes and patterns. They stick together to make bigger flakes. Did you know snowflakes have 6 sides or points? A blizzard is a heavy snowstorm driven by high winds. Snow piles up in deep drifts. It's hard to see where you're going as everything looks white. Why are mountaintops snowy? Mountaintops are often covered in snow, even in hot countries. The higher you climb, the more the air expands and cools. This leads to more moisture and snowy mountain conditions. How do we measure the weather? All sorts of clever gadgets have been invented over the years to measure how the weather behaves. Today, the numbers are often recorded and displayed digitally. Rain gauges collect and measure the amount of rain that falls into a jar. Anemometers measure wind speed. They are often fixed to tall buildings, bridges, and ships. Thermometers measure how hot or cold it gets. Barometers measure changes in air pressure. There are many different designs and displays. Weather balloons carry instruments high above Earth to study the atmosphere. Satellites in space help us collect information about the climate. Buoys and ships at sea also record weather data, and so do aircraft. Does the climate ever change? Over millions of years, Earth's climate has gone through many changes. In the past, there have been great ice ages when ice spread out from the poles. What's happening today? The climate is changing very quickly. This is because we are cutting down forests and burning too much oil, gas, and coal. We are filling the atmosphere with gases that make the planet overheat. How will climate change affect the weather? We may see more big tropical storms, floods in some places, and droughts in others. Melting ice and rising sea levels, dry areas may turn to desert. How can the weather help us out? We can use wind, sunlight, waves, tides, and rivers to make cleaner energy that never runs out. Let's look after our planet. It's the only one we've got. The end. And that's the end of our story, my little bookworms. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you enjoyed reading curious questions and answers about weather with me, check out the link in the description and we can read it together. Subscribe and like, comment what book you'd like to hear next. Remember, reading is a magical adventure that could take you anywhere you want to go. So keep reading and exploring new worlds. Until next time, farewell, my friends.
Miss Bree reads! Miss Bree reads!
Stay curious and spread the joy.